Yeah.
Russian.
Oktava.
Oktava. All right. So I really don't have a lot of questions for you.
Good. I'm
Because
not a big fan of interviews.
I was trying to. The reason that I chose to speak with you is because I love Sebadoh.
Oh, good.
Love Lee
I
Barlow.
recorded Sebadoh like a long time ago.
Yeah, and I still have the albums. So, and yeah, and then I just made the connection recently. And like I always saw, your name on it, but and I always
They always used a lot of different engineers. Those guys were they would just go all over the place and piece together stuff from everywhere.
I was wondering about Tim O'Hare. Does he work like opposite to you? Because he does a lot of stuff too for them.
No, he's just another. Like I said, would just use
another
random engineers from all over the place.
Yeah, because
Tim is just an engineer. He's a really great engineer from
Okay.
Boston. Just another engineer. Yeah, I think he moved to L.A. maybe, but originally he started at a studio called Fort Apache
And
in
he's still
Boston.
going?
I don't know. Tim and I don't really
Oh, you're good.
keep in touch. It's not
So
like we're
because
pals. I know him.
Right, because when you're working, you're doing it, and then he's doing it opposite to you.
Well, yeah, totally different sessions, completely unrelated.
Yeah,
Yeah, they'd have
but
nothing.
same album sometimes.
Yeah, but then,
That's
like
right.
I said, those guys would just record a bunch with one guy, a bunch with another guy, a bunch at home, and
Yeah.
chunk it all together. You'd never know what record your stuff would end up on, or if it
Yeah.
was going to be on a record. It was completely random.
But-
They'd say, "Bob, I want to record 4 songs," and I'd say, "Okay, let's go record 4 songs," knowing nothing about. I don't even know if they knew what the rest of the record was going to be.
It seems to me like anything that you recorded is more the Lou Barlow and more like of his mellower kind of love songs.
I guess on one
seems-
session it was. I don't know. I don't want to contradict you, but I did. But I did a bunch of different sessions with them, and some of them were really rocking.
Yeah, I know.
Some of them were Jason songs.
Yeah.
Some of them were super pretty Lou songs. So
Cool. I love him. I took my brother to see Lou Barlow because he'd never heard of him. It's the first time, and he was just wow, because he's not even into anything other than folk music.
Lou's
So
good.
I'm like, you need
Lou's
to see
good.
this guy, right?
Yeah.
So I took him there, and then the other day, just before I left, he said to me, "Oh, I went to see Laurel Canyon," and I said, "He's like, yes, he's in it."
Is Lou in?
Lou Barlow.
Really?
Yeah, he did some of the soundtrack. It's
Oh.
Folk Implosion and Sparkleverse.
Yeah.
So,
I've been meaning to go see Laurel Canyon.
yeah, me too. Apparently, at the beginning, the guy's got a tape off magazine.
That's pretty good.
That's pretty cool, man. So yeah, I really don't have a lot of questions for you. I tried to dig up some stuff on you, but I didn't really find very much. But I know that you work in Chicago at a radio station.
I don't work at a radio station in Chicago. One of my part-time jobs is I work for a network. I work for a national public radio. So I don't work at a station
Oh,
per
I
se.
see.
I work at the Chicago News Bureau for NPR, which is based in Washington. So I don't work at a radio station. I work at
You work.
an audio facility where we have reporters from Washington are based there, and I'll do, I'm one of the engineers
So
there.
you mix there.
Yeah, so I'll engineer news stories
Oh, okay.
and send them to Washington down. We have a full-time fiber optic link with Washington.
So that's your cake.
That's when no bands are calling me. That's
Right.
that's what I do, which happens more than I think a lot of people would imagine.
Yeah, that's right.
So-
I believe that. So yeah, how do you choose who you work with, and how do you keep in on that?
How do I choose who I work with? Well, when people call me and ask me to record them, I say yes.
Always
I don't have the luxury of
turn
picking and
people down.
choosing. I don't get enough calls where I can pick and choose.
Okay.
So I record everybody who calls
Really,
me.
eh?
Yeah. Oh
So
yeah.
do you find that if you just do it that way, that you can I don't know, pick up something from them that they probably would never get? Like,
What do you mean?
like people just call you because they want to work with you, right?
Yeah, people would call me because they've heard other
But what
records
if you
I've
didn't
done.
like the music? What would you do?
Well, I've found from 10 years experience that people don't usually call an engineer unless they're compatible musically with that engineer.
That's true.
They wouldn't call me in the first place if they don't sound something like one of the bands I've already recorded.
Yeah, for sure.
So they do the choosing for me. I don't have to choose them because they choose me.
That's good.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, and they're familiar with your.
Yeah,
with
they
your
wouldn't have
tastes.
they wouldn't have wanted to get in touch with me if they hadn't heard something that they liked that's probably similar sounding to their band.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you
So
mean.
that makes my life easier.
Do you feel like you have a signature sound that's Bob Weston?
I don't think so, but maybe people who would listen to me might think so.
Yeah. It's not.
I like to think that I just make the band sound like the band.
Okay. So you have the same
So
philosophy as Steve.
documentarian.
Sounds awesome.
Or maybe not necessarily like, I might not necessarily make the band sound like the band sounds, but if that's not what they want.
So sometimes they want
If
to
the
sound
band
more
wants to
grand
sound,
than they are.
yeah, well, no, I guess I'll take that back. I guess I do, pretty much do make them sound the way they sound. That's why I just try to,
So
I
you
guess
try
it's
to
sort
keep-
of documentarian, but I'll do like, if the band wants me, whatever they want me to do, I'll do. So if they want something to sound like the Beatles, I'll try to do
Really, eh?
whatever they want.
Okay. So how?
They make the decisions, it's all up to the band, it's not up to me.
Okay. So usually they're prepared when they come to you and they say, "This is how I want to do it." Or
Yeah,
a lot
because
of-
the bands I record don't have a lot of money, so we can't really afford to spend a lot of time messing around. So I make sure to let them know that, look, we've only got, you only have this much money, which means we only have this much time, which means you need to have everything figured out and
Yeah.
ready to go, because we don't have the time to
So-
waste in the studio trying to learn stuff.
So do they produce it themselves then, normally?
We all produce it together.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, none of us really use the word producer.
Okay.
I record them.
Yeah.
And we all talk about it. And from band to band, my level of involvement in what people would call production just naturally evolves depending on what they want.
Good.
It's usually pretty natural. Like if I hear something and I think, if I can make a musical comment or an arrangement comment about something, if it pops into my head, I will. If I have no comment, I won't make one.
That's good.
Or if they tell me they're not interested in my opinion, I'll
That's
just
good.
engineer.
Well, that's.
It's just,
yeah, you
we don't
kinda
really,
have to stay back.
yeah, we don't
let
really
them do.
discuss it that much beforehand. It just sort of naturally evolves.
That's cool. Well, they obviously choose you because they know that, you have a result because of the way that you work. So
I guess so.
Do you know what I mean?
I think I'm a good engineer, so.
that's cool. Right on. So would you rather do that full time or?
I do it as full time as I can.
Okay. So anytime you like.
Anyone who calls, I'll record them. I'll fit it in.
That's cool.
There's always plenty of free time in my schedule.
So you do a lot of the Juno 44. You did a lot of them.
Yeah, I mean, it was not, there are a number of bands that have come back for repeat business, and that's really gratifying, because it means that they liked what you did,
it's
and so that makes you feel good.
Yeah, for
And plus
sure.
you have a really good relationship. Usually a band that comes back, you become really good friends with them if you record them over and over again, and it's a lot more fulfilling to record a band that you're friends with. It's a
That's
real
right.
personal relationship, not just a job.
And you get to progress with them at the same time.
Yeah, and you work in the studio. If you have a good studio relationship, and things.
They start to understand what gear you have and like how it works.
Yeah, you understand
Your
what they
space.
want. They understand what you can do.
That's right.
There's more of an unspoken communication.
That's cool.
You kind of know what happens next,
Yeah.
or what they might want to do, or what they might like or dislike.
Cool. Do you have your own studio?
No, for a long time I thought I wanted one, and now
But
I've
it's a
realized
lot.
that I don't
Okay.
want one.
You don't want one. So how do you work? Do you?
Just go to studios.
Do
Just
band-
rent a studio.
Okay. So if you're gonna do, say, Juno 44, do you go to the same studio every time? To
No,
keep
the
it
band and
consistent?
I discuss it.
Each time you might change it so that you can switch it up.
You might change it depending on how much money is available, depending on, hey, we want to go hang
Or
out
travel.
in Georgia in
That's
the middle of January to get out of
Awesome.
Chicago, so let's record in
Yeah.
Atlanta.
That sounds good.
Just kind of random.
Why not?
Mainly it's based on studios that I'd rather work at a place I'm familiar with or that I've heard good things about, and also it's usually based on getting the cheapest studio we can that has adequate equipment.
Do you? Does Steve give you deals?
No.
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 You just have to pay for like whatever it is.
No, any band that rents electrical audio pays the same price.
Okay.
So the band rents the studio, and then the band pays me my fee.
Right.
Yeah.
So you
So
actually,
I'm not buying the studio; the band's buying the studio.
That's right.
So Steve would be giving them the deal, not me.
Okay. And then they hire you
Yeah.
separately.
So when actually at electrical, there's the set fee, and then if you're on a major label, or if it seems like it's going to be hard to collect the money afterwards. Maybe he'll charge more
I keep hearing that. Why is that? I guess it's
because it's a pain in the ass.
because they just
Because
like,
if it's a band that's just paying you, they hand you a check on the last
That's
day.
right.
If it's a label, you have to call them and send them faxes and harass them for months and months and months
eh?
to get paid. The bigger the label, the harder it is
can't
to
you
get
sign
paid.
a contract with them and say what?
Well,
the
yeah,
hell?
what are you going to do when they break the contract? Take them to court? Can you afford to take them to court? I mean, just because you have a contract doesn't mean that people follow it.
It's true. But yeah, you don't really have any clout if you don't.
There's nothing you
have
can
any
do
money.
about it. So
Yeah, that's true.
having a contract doesn't guarantee the
just
terms of the
baffles me.
contract are followed.
So you'd rather work with indie people?
No,
Like-
I'd rather work with anyone
Whoever.
who's interested.
Okay.
Yeah.
But if you're going to be working with someone who's on a major label, you know that that's going to be part of it. That you're going to have to.
Yeah,
fight for your
I've
money.
worked with the major labels, kind of smaller major labels, a couple of times, and I let it. I made sure that they understood that they had to pay me half before I would get on the plane,
Okay.
and that they had to pay me the other half before I would hand anyone a tape,
Okay.
because I knew it would be difficult otherwise.
That's good.
So
you have to cover yourself.
Yeah, and that way I got paid when I needed to get paid.
Because you
But
need
if I owned a
money.
studio, it would be a different thing. I think it would be a lot more difficult to get the studio money.
Okay.
I think being one guy and having the tapes in my hand and saying you don't get them till I get my check was a lot easier to get paid.
That's kind of a crappy feeling, though, right?
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
it's sort of a
Just-
bummer.
Yeah, because it's just kind of like there's no trust there.
No.
You know? But that's the way I get.
No, but it's not the band. I don't hold the band. That's the thing. It's the
not
band
them.
that I'm dealing with. It's the band I care about, and it's not them. It's not their
It's not
fault
their
that's the way the label behaves. So.
Oh. It's true, but what would you do, right? You can't really suggest the band to get a new label. Like, it's not going to happen.
No, I
You
just
work with
I just record the band and make sure I get paid.
Okay. What else?
I don't know.
I don't know. Do you have any favorite gear you want to talk about?
Favorite gear I want to talk about? No.
No?
I think for me the most important thing is the microphones.
Yeah,
So when I make records, I have a couple of briefcases full of microphones that I travel around with,
Nice.
and everything else, pretty much everything else, I can deal with whatever. I can
Yeah.
record someone on an 8-track in their living room, or a big fancy studio. I'll still bring my own microphones, and just figure out a way to deal with whatever other gear is available to me.
Yeah, that's good.
So
'Cause then also, too, when you're bringing it in, you know what you have. And like, you already know how everything works, right?
yeah, I just don't. When I go to studios, they usually won't have certain mics that I like to use, or they'll be unhappy if I use them on the way I'd like to use them. Like there are certain small
you might wanna
diaphragm.
duct tape it.
Well, there are certain like small diaphragm condenser mics that I like to use on tom-toms, and I think
People
I've been to studios before where they really wouldn't let you use that. If they had that mic, they wouldn't be happy if they saw you using it on a tom-tom.
Yeah.
For instance, just for one.
for insurance purposes.
Yeah, they just think you'll break it or something.
Yeah.
Or the drummer's going to hit it. And I don't know, if a drummer hits a mic, that's the way it is. Get it fixed.
Did you have any? Everybody's like, I've never done engineering, but I'd like to try something. But people are always talking about how do you get that drum sound, because it's just so crucial. Like everyone's always like, how do you get the snare? Like, how do you mic the drum? Why is it so crucial that it's always the drums? Is that the hardest part to mic, or?
I don't know why people get
Like, go
worry
freak out
about the drum. I mean, I pretty much worry about all the instruments. I just, I just try to get the instruments recorded the way they sound when you stand in front of them, get them onto tape that way. And with a guitar amp, it's a lot easier. So anyway, because of that, having the sound source sound good is really important. And with a guitar player, usually they've got it pretty sorted out. And if not, you can just turn a few knobs
it's
on the
like-
amp,
Okay.
and they're usually pretty happy with it. But
But
the
the
drums are a
drums,
lot more
yeah,
complex because
that's
there's the tuning, how good the drums are, just the drums themselves,
And
getting new heads on them, tuning them right, where what kind of acoustic environment they're in
Yeah.
changes the sound, and how the drummer plays
And I was
them,
gonna say
how
that
the
like
drummer
if
hits
it's
them.
like hard or soft or
So
So
I guess it's harder to get.
It's true, right?
It depends. Like a lot of engineers, I think, have this idealized snare sound in their head that they want all the different drummers to try to get. But other engineers just want it to sound like it sounds when you stand in front of it.
that's great.
So I don't know. I tend to like to just. I think with the drum sounds, I don't necessarily have an idealized like the bass drum sound I'm looking for or the snare drum sound. I just want it to sound good to me. I don't know what that even means. Like, you know, I'll put the
Even at
mic
the
up,
moment.
I'll turn it up and I'll listen to it and be like, and say to myself, does that sound good? No? Let's try a different mic.
That's
And I
right.
don't even know what good means. It's just, it's
wherever
taste.
you are
It's
at
just
that
taste.
time, you know?
Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
my taste.
This makes
And, you
sense.
know, supposedly, you know, drum sounds that other people might think sound bad still might be fine with me. Cleaning up over here. Yeah, I like to just work with what I end up with. If I end up with some weird sounding drums, that's fine.
Yeah.
Find
Especially,
a
like-
way to mix them together to make them sound good.
When you work with someone like Sabato, I bet you they're probably so open to that too, right?
Yeah, I guess.
Just like kind of letting you do your thing and then just freaking it.
Yeah, I don't really remember.
Oh yeah.
It was like 10
It's
years
been a
ago.
while. Yeah. What about shellac? Do you want to talk about that a little bit?
Shellac?
Yeah.
I love my band.
Cool.
It's really fun to play my band.
Yeah.
Well, it's fun to record. It's weird recording our band because, you know, Steve and I are both engineers, and Todd's made a million records, so he's no dummy in the studio either. So the two of us set up, or the three of us set up all the stuff and sort of say, hey, what mic do you want to use on the bass this time?
Yeah.
Oh, let's try this one. You want to try this? Sure.
So it's experimental pretty much.
A little bit. We used different amps and different mics for each record, sort of. We try different things. And even for each session on a record, Steve might use a different guitar amp for each 3 or 4 songs that we record. So we'll get everything set, and you know, I'll get the guitar sound in the control room, Steve will get the bass sound, and then we'll just get someone to press play and record
Nice.
for us, and we'll just go play. So
Nice. So
I think
it's
it's a lot harder for Steve to let go of the recording process
Bet.
than me. So it's hard for me too, but instead of both of us freaking out about it all the time, I just sort of let Steve
Yeah.
deal with it when we're doing the basic tracks.
Well, it's hard.
Sort
because-
of, you know, because if there's too many of us in there going crazy,
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to sound great regardless of which one of us takes care of
That's
things.
true.
So I'll let him take care of it. And then when we're mixing, we take turns working on the mixing. And, you know, like I'll record his vocal overdubs or guitar overdubs, and he'll record my singing. So it's very collaborative. The only fights we get into are about who gets to write things on the track sheet, whose handwriting is on the box label
Oh,
of
really?
the track sheet. He doesn't like my handwriting.
You're
and-
artistic.
And I don't
Yeah.
like his hand. No, I like his handwriting. He doesn't like mine.
Hey, do you play trumpet? Is that right?
Yeah, well, that was my first instrument. I took trumpet lessons starting in the 5th grade.
Okay.
So
I thought
I was pretty
saw-
good at it. I played trumpet all through high school and college, and then just stopped.
Yeah. You don't do it anymore?
Oh, I have it, and I've played it on records for people, but I'm not that good anymore.
You played on low, didn't you?
Yeah, I played on one of the low
Love
records. That was really great. I love low.
I love low. Like, I just been getting into them this year,
Yeah.
and I'm just freaking out about them. They're
I mean,
so-
like most engineers that are any good, or are friends of mine that I know that are any
Love
good,
low.
we're all just music fans.
Yeah.
So we're all musicians and music fans. And for some reason, I find that the engineers that I respect the most tend to be musicians and music fans, not, you know, engineers.
Yeah. The people
So-
who just don't go out and like experience the music.
Yeah, I go
don't-
see bands, you know.
I don't understand that, you know?
I was at a show.
So-
I was at this show at the Tape Op conference last night, and there was a guy who was trying to talk to me about some stuff while the band was playing, and I'm like, hey, talk to me tomorrow. Let's go. Let's watch the band.
So you just went
And
out.
he said, oh, I've already heard their album.
But it's live.
I know.
Talking about Malcolmus or the Radar Brothers?
What's that?
The Radar Brothers?
I don't remember which band it was during.
Last night.
One of the bands last night.
Yeah.
Doesn't even matter. Just the fact that the guy was like, oh, I've already heard the album.
That's kind of
Was
weird.
pretty funny.
Yeah. Yeah. Nothing new. But there's always something new every time you see it, hear it.
Yeah. So,
I don't know what else to ask you.
was I okay?
It was nice.
Can you understand me?
Yeah.
Right on.
Yeah, thanks, Mom.